Yo, what is everybody doing? Today I'm going to be doing part 1 of What If Deku had Moku Moku no Me. So I'm going to start and I'm not going to promise y'all, but I'm going to start to try to make thumbnails like this now. Yes, this is my thumbnail. So without further ado, let's hop right into this What If. Izuku always had a strong sense for justice. It was always his dream to be a hero. Even if for some reason he couldn't, he knew he would become a police officer instead. He was that dedicated to being a good guy. That was until he learned that sometimes justice didn't come at hand of heroes or police. One day, he learned that sometimes you have to take justice into your own hands. You see, when Izuku was 4, he learned he was quirkless. His old friend Katsuki Bakugo used his powerful explosion quirk to bully Izuku for this very reason. As a result, he spent a lot of time with his mother, who was the most precious person anyone could have as a mother. He eventually got involved with his mother's hobby of gardening. She couldn't have a big garden since they lived in an apartment complex, but it was the act of gardening itself that the two green-haired cinnamon rolls enjoyed. One day, a weird white-colored fruit with swirls on it appeared on one of Inko's plants. Izuku saw it and thought it looked tasty, so he plucked the fruit into it. He plucked the fruit he plucked he plucked the fruit and washed it and took a bite. Unfortunately for Izuku, the fruit did not in fact taste good, and it was horribly bitter. He kept in the refrigerator so he could tell his mom not to eat that particular fruit. Once she got home, Inko scolded Izuku for eating an unknown fruit, but also thanked him for thinking of her. Over the years, Izuku came to resent heroes, since Katsuki would always get praise for having amazing hero potential, despite the fact that he was a bully. Instead, he grew to admire the police. That is, until one day, Izuku's whole world view was trashed. There was a villain attack near his apartment complex. It was two random giant villains having a fight over something most likely inconsensual. No one really knows who, but one of the two giants stepped on Izuku's apartment complex. His mother was half trapped underneath the building. Izuku tried to get her free, despite being told by his mother to save himself. He cried out for anyone to help, but no hero came to the help and no policeman heeded his cries. He was alone and his mother was dying. As he punched the ground in frustration, his hand turned into smoke. He gasped in surprise and tried to replicate the process with his entire body. He used his smoke to get under the rubble. Despite his mother's protest and expanded while unconsciously increasing the smoke's density. This act allowed a man in a black mask covered the top of his face to move his mother underneath the rubble. Oh my god, sir, thank you so much for saving my mother. Are you a hero? I've never seen you before. Thank you once again, sir, Izuku said as he devolved into a series of mumbles. Thanks aren't necessary, kid. After all, I just dragged her. It was you who saved her. As for you, the other question, my name is Knuckle Duster. I'm the hero who saves those that normal heroes won't. Izuku, being the smart 9-year-old that he was, pieced that this man was a vigilante. But to be honest, he didn't really care. This man saved his mom when heroes did nothing. He was broken out a he was broken out of his thoughts by his mother's words. Mr. Knucklebuster, can you tell that my time is running short? After all, it's taking all my effort just to speak. I beg you, take care of my baby boy. He's all that ever mattered to me. Mom, don't say that. You'll be fine. Please, Mom, please, the boy said with tears streaming down his eyes. I promise, Mama. Wait, I promise, ma'am. I'll do my best to raise your boy into the finest man that ever walked the earth. Thank you so much, the woman whispered out before finally passing away. Knucklebuster let the boy cry and mourn before taking the boy to his home to rest. The next day, Knucklebuster adopted Izuku under his civilian alias, Takeshi Kuroiwa. When Izuku wasn't in school, he was training his new power and his combat skills with the older vigilante. Over time, Izuku cut his hair shorter and slicked it back. Smoker post time skip hair, except green. And wore a white jacket with dark green fur color. Wait, that sounds really familiar. Who does that sound like? He Find out who that sounds like in the comments. And I guess you'll get a shout out the next video. He usually wore it open with a tight black shirt underneath and black pants with dark green combat boots. This was what he wore as a vigilante costume. He didn't wear a mask since he could use his smoke to hide his identity. Also, using some of Knucklebuster's more unsavory connections, he came into possession with a nigh indestructible jit, which was his weapon of choice as a vigilante. Let's just say it's not a jit, it's a baton. Not like a girl baton, but a police baton. A oh, I just lost where I was. Dang it. Okay, Jake was he? Okay, he worked with his adopted father for a couple of years before deciding to strike out on his own to follow his own meaning of justice. Knucklebuster understood and let him know that he'd always be there for his son and student. So at age 13, Izuku set off and made his own as a solo vigilante smoker. His target were mostly the like and bank robbery, the likes of bank robbers, pretty thieves, murderers, kidnappers, wearies. His father figured mostly hunted down drug dealers and drug users. He made a name for himself as he made a name for himself and was the enemy of villains and a capture target for heroes. One fake. Okay, I don't get what is wrong. I know they kill, but just take away the killing part. If you just take away the killing part from vigilantes, aren't they basically heroes? When you think about it, just take away the killing and brutally beating the guy up. Then they're basically heroes. So I don't get this, My Hero Academia. One fateful day, a year into his vigilante career, he saw his bully, Katsuki Bakugo, being assaulted by a sludge-like man. He saw several heroes all fumbling around, not knowing what to do. He was quite It was quite irritating, to say the least. Honestly, if you guys are gonna call yourselves heroes, at least act like it, the boy mumbled before surging forward in a burst of smoke. Little did he know a certain incapacitated hero not only heard him, but recognized him as well. He assaulted the sledge villain with a white spark technique and changed the density on contract. The loosened This loosened sludge enough for Izuku to solidify one of his hands and throw Katsuki and wait, shoot, and throw Katsuki out of harm's way. He then surrounded the villain and pummeled him with his fist, coated in a weird hardening ability he discovered on accident. Through several hours of research, he learned that the hardening was vastly improving sixth sense, or sub's type of power called haki. Once he was done, he left in a cloud of smoke and began walking home. As our protagonist was walking home, All Might jumped in front of him. If it were 6 years ago, he would have been freaking out. Now, he wasn't too impressed. Can I help you, All Might? Izuku deadpanned. Don't play coy, Smoker. The White Hunter? I saw what you did to that sludge villain, and I must say, I'm impressed. So, why do you choose to break the law and be a vigilante instead of becoming a hero? Because, All Might, the symbol of peace. Sometimes being a hero isn't good enough. Sometimes the only way to save people is to bend and break the rules. My boy, I can't say I understand. What you've been through, or nor will I pretend to do so. Instead, I would like to offer you an opportunity to turn your life around. I'm offering you a recommendation to join your way. I won't. I won't ask again. I won't. I won't ask you to make your decision now. Instead, if you wish to be a hero, meet me at Iguma Beach in 3 days' time. Before I leave, what's your name, young man? Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. I'll think about your offer, but I ain't promising anything. A fine name, my boy. Goodbye, young Midoriya. Remember, Deguma Beach in 3 days' time. And with that, the number one hero left Izuku. Didn't let the number one hero left. Izuku didn't know what to do. He was really going to do what he was really going to do. He didn't want to stop his work, but at the same time, being a hero used to be his dream. He'd need to think about this. So, tell me how y'all thought about the story. Tell me if y'all want me to go Quad X style, putting the music in the background and doing the what ifs, or if you just want me to, do like this, read the script and stuff like that. So, yeah. Peace. Oh, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends on your social media platforms. YouTube. We out. Be.